New York City, one of the biggest media empires on the planet, is facing a bevy of new taxes, and they're all levied against the ultra-rich, aka celebrities. And wouldn't you know it, it turns out that your movie stars, your TV stars, they never intended to suffer under socialism and communism. Hey, Mamdani, the rich, the elites, those in the spotlight are heading to Florida and leaving you behind. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Good Time as we dive deep into what's really going on in the wild world of entertainment. Today we're stopping on by New York City, NYC, to see what craziness is happening there. It turns out that celebrities really don't care for socialism and communism, even if they once said that they did, and they still do. Folks, as we dive in, click the like button. We appreciate it from you. Celebrities are discovering they don't like socialism and communism as much as they once believed. Here's the announcement from Mayor Zohran Mamdani, who's added Kwame, but maybe his mom did originally. He's got an announcement about taxes. It's going to hit the celebrities hard in the wallet. And wouldn't you know it, they're already beginning to plan their way out of this one after putting this onto NYC, the second biggest media empire inside the US of A. Here is Mayor Mamdani.
For mayor, I said I was going to tax the rich. Well, today, we're taxing the rich. I'm thrilled to announce we've secured a pied-a-terre tax, the first in New York's history. This is an annual fee on luxury properties worth more than $5 million, whose owners do not live full-time in the city. Like for this penthouse, which hedge fund CEO Ken Griffin bought for $238 million. This pied-a-terre tax is specifically designed for the richest of the rich, those who store their wealth in New York City real estate, but who don't actually live here.
That sounds an awful lot like celebrities, folks, the ones who put this guy in charge. They're going to use some of the examples that are more favorable to them, like, oh, so Russian magnates are here in New York City. We have to get rid of them. It's, that kind of stuff. But in reality, it's a lot of celebrities who are suddenly not going to want to own their mansions, their penthouses. You get the idea. Hey, T-Swift, get away from New York as fast as you can. From CBS News by Alexa Herrera, Governor Hochul, Mayor Mamdani proposed New York City pied-a-terre tax on second homes worth over $5 million. Now, folks, if you know anything about New York City, a $5 million residence is not that expensive. I know it seems expensive, but especially in Manhattan, many of these places to stay are worth over $5 million. And the second home part about it, it's talking about anybody who does not claim New York City as their official residency. It's not their home address, right?
So in addition on that, if you don't claim New York residency, that changes your tax status. So if you are, they're trying to take an advantage of people who don't officially live in New York, so don't officially work in New York, so they don't get taxed in New York. So they're trying to make it even harder for people who don't claim. There was a radio broadcaster who is going to make this political. It's political anyways. Rush Limbaugh, whenever he would go into New York, he would intentionally not work when he was there, or they would audit him every single time to try to say, you worked in the state on this day, therefore this amount of your, $400 million contract is under the New York jurisdiction. This is a way to try to squeeze them into saying they live in New York so that they can tax them more in other ways as well.
Exactly. Now, Mamdani is claiming, according to Fox News, that the threat of rich people leaving New York City over taxes is imagined. Let's see what he has to say.
So for all of the discussion of the imagined exodus that would take place were we to tax the wealthiest New Yorkers by the appropriate amount, I say imagined because before I was a mayor, I was a state legislator, and I was part of an effort to increase taxes on millionaires at that time. We were told the same thing then. And what we find now is that we have more millionaires today than we did at that time, even after having passed that tax.
So let's find out if it's true. Right. Let's find out if it's true. Out of the Hill, what do we got? New York Exodus. Wait a minute. Now, the Hill is not the kind of place you go to, for right-wing content. It's not Breitbart. It's not, folks, it's the Hill. And the Hill is telling us from Bernard Goldberg, Bernie Goldberg out there saying New York Exodus, high-cost taxes are driving residents to Florida. Wow. But ignore what's happening. And ignore this too, folks. From Patch.com, Ainsley Martinez. Mamdani is now skipping the Met Gala despite invitation. Why would he do so? Well, that's where all the celebrities go, right? Because it's awkward. He wasn't supposed to aim it at them. Now, Vera, I can't wait to go over the celebrities who are included in this tax. But Vera, they don't like this so much anymore because it turns out celebrities, there's two things they love more than just about anything. They love fame and they love money, money, money. Vera, what do you think about the idea the celebs are fleeing New York City now?
Wow, I'm honestly so shocked. You steal people's money with taxes and then they leave. Who would have thunk it? I mean, the wealth tax just drives out the wealth. It's not particularly shocking, but it is hilarious to see these people freak out. They really thought that they were not going to face the consequences of their own actions. They chose him, and now he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
That's right. And Vera, why, if I'm a celebrity, why would I not just rent? Why would I just not rent a massive hotel room, a suite for a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever? Like, I can avoid this. All this does is it drives out people from owning property in New York. That is literally all it does. If I'm a celebrity, let's say I'm Shaq, okay? If I'm Shaquille O'Neal, or let's say that I'm T-Swift, why do I not invest now in Florida where this is not happening? Even if I hate it, even if it's a red state, why don't I invest in Florida or Texas and say, when I go to New York, we're going to rent the penthouse. I'm not buying it anymore.
Right, exactly. That's just what's going to happen.
Now, if we go to the celebrities who are being affected by this, just to give you an idea, folks, these are the billionaires, okay, who are celebrities. There are lots of them who are millionaires, and a lot of those millionaires, they own $5 million penthouses in New York, a lot of them. But what about the billionaires, right? Because this is supposed to be who they're aiming for. Well, Dr. Dre is a billionaire. Beyonce is a billionaire. Rihanna is a billionaire. James Cameron is a billionaire. Roger Federer, Jerry Seinfeld, Arnold, Bruce, LeBron, Tyler Perry. The list goes on and on. Mr. Dick Wolf, Tiger Woods, Magic Johnson. Folks, we can keep going. We can keep reading these names. It turns out that the people who wanted socialism and communism in New York, they are capitalists to the extreme. They really are. Look, there's George Lucas. We love George. There's Steven, right? Don't know if they supported Mamdani. Jonas Mamdani is a Disney guy, too. He became famous being in a Disney movie. This is the kind of world that's been... Famous, okay, go ahead.
As famous as anyone can be from being in The King of Katwa. He would have liked to have become famous for being the rapper on the soundtrack to the Lupita Nyong'o chess movie. Yeah.
Jonas, what do you think about the idea? He's not going to the Met Gala now. They're claiming that it's because if he's seen there, it would seem like he's hobnobbing with the richest, the wealthiest, and that's not his game. But he was fine with that before the election happened. He wanted that for the campaign. Jonas, now, I think what's really happening, the celebs they're furious with this guy because they're like, wait a minute, you really believed this stuff? No, we were supposed to get all kinds of incentives and perks from you. What are you doing?
Right. There's a belief that government is run poorly, and therefore having a socialist philosophy will suddenly allow the redistribution of the budget in order to make things run well. But the truth is, when you enact socialism, generally speaking, you have to raise taxes. He said he wouldn't have to raise taxes, and it's one of the first things he did out of the gate. So, it's a fantasy. The way they want to come after us for saying the Lord of the Rings is fantasy. Socialism is a much more dangerous fantasy because it has never worked wherever it's been tried.
Now,
Yeah,
Vera, go ahead.
And here, I'm in ye old Boston, as you can imagine. It's not a particularly great place, but the millionaire tax in Massachusetts passed in 2022, and it's driving out the wealthy. It makes anyone who makes $1 million or more pay an extra 4% income tax, so now they pay a total of 9%. They're all moving to New Hampshire and Florida because of it.
And they're inflating it to the point that that's not even a big deal anymore, right? The number of millionaires in the world. I'm not here to, tell people, well, being a millionaire is, small potatoes. But if we keep inflating the currency like we are, well, get ready because they're deflating the currency, I should say. Get ready. There are going to be a lot of millionaires, and it's not going to mean a lot. Vera, the other thing that's happening here is we've got two media empires. We've got California and we've got New York City. And everything else below that has been smaller. Atlanta, Georgia gave a run for the money to Hollywood in terms of film production. But they've devastated these two media empires through these kinds of very authoritarian economic policies. And then they also, because they didn't like the way that Georgia voted in the last election, they eviscerated the film industry in Atlanta. Marvel moved all of its stuff overseas. They don't film anymore in Georgia. A lot of the shows are gone now. And so Hollywood is being crushed by having devastated their two biggest media spots and then fled the place they had found that they could make some money in Georgia. And now they're over in like Ontario and Norway and the UK. And they've destroyed themselves over politics and policies that don't help them in any way.
It sucks to suck. It is what it is, and it's not good. You know, it's tough, right? Because obviously we all love video games, we love movies, we love TV shows, but entertainment in general is being crushed right now. The video game industry is also going through a massive amount of layoffs, and it actually, this year so far, is down from what it was last year, but at the same time, it's still not good. And last year, the video game industry saw about 15,000 layoffs, which doesn't sound that bad in the grand scheme of things. But this year, it's already about 4,000, which, you know, is kind of a chunk of change. And part of that is AI. But another part of that, is we've talked about even with movies and TV shows in Hollywood, is just that a lot of the dead weight is being cut. And so when we're hearing that these issues are happening right now, in a way, I'm sad about it because I want them to turn things around, but they're obviously not going to. So all I can say is, it is what it is.
It is what it is. And they are now in a position where they have to deal with what they've done. It's being aimed at them, and they're not used to that. The celebrities are not used to that. When we go through that list of those top celebs and the money they make, folks, remember, there's like 1,000 of them below that who will still have to be paying this. And New York is planning to drive tons and tons of money off of this. This will not be a small deal. And I'm afraid it's just going to cause people to say, you know what? I'll invest in my real estate in other places rather than Manhattan, rather than where we were. And the wealth is going to continue to move out of California, New York. This expedites it. But we told you, we said, hey, it's not socialism light. It's socialism and communism, and it's coming for you. Often as we get ready to wrap these up, folks, you'll hear us say, keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun. And the reason we do it is because we appreciate you. It's true, we do. And we want you to have a good time. Thank you for giving us the great time of spending time with you. Folks, on the way out the door, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it and stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell, and drop a comment down below because you matter. Your thoughts matter. Who cares what the legacy corporate deadbeat media tells you? You really are important. And we're a testament to that. We wouldn't be here without folks just like you. And since we've said it, we'll say it once more. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.